Check. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2024 Nichols College commencement ceremonies. My name is Steve Wehner. I'm the Director of Public Safety at Nichols College. And on behalf of the community, I thank you for joining us today to celebrate all of our graduates. The 24 commencement exercises will begin very shortly. We ask you to please take your seats. Kindly turn the volume down on your cell phones. From housekeeping matters, the concession stands will close at 11, and at the conclusion of the ceremony, the stage party will process out of the arena. At that time, you will be able to join graduates on the arena floor. Thank you very much, and enjoy the ceremony.
never try to upstage thunder. President Paczynski, fellow trustees, honored guests, faculty and staff, parents, families, and friends, and the class of 2024. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the Nichols College graduation ceremony has commenced.
Thank you, Chairman Becker. And thank you to all the marshals for leading the academic procession. Student Marshal Ingrid Dinero de Souza Oliveira and Faculty Marshal Prajwe Pandey. Please rise and join in singing the national anthem led by Nichols class of 2023 graduate Courtney Winan. Courtney.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Courtney. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Reverend Joseph B. Shea. Reverend Shea.
Thank you. It's both a privilege and an honor to begin this ceremony with an invocation. This morning, when you were placing your graduation cap onto your head, you held in your hand a stringy thing, a fancy bundle of threads called a tassel. Perhaps you temporarily lost it like I did, and you searched to find it because it needs to go on before you march in the procession, and you need to attach it to the top of your cap. While marching in, this bundle of threads probably annoyed some of you as it bounced around, hitting you in the face, getting caught in your hair, snagging on your jewelry, getting in your eyes. And while you kept to reposition it by snapping your head quickly or blowing on it, you tried to keep it there, and the tassel is quite a hassle. But soon, very soon, at the conclusion of this ceremony, in a wave of unity and celebration, you will have the privilege of moving that tassel to the opposite side at the cheering applause of everyone here today celebrating with you. But you're not just moving a clump of threads to the other side, because I believe that every thread of the same length represents the metered lengths of classes, assignments, presentations, papers, quizzes, exams, clubs, sports, internships, deep friendships, all grouped together for this ceremonial display. But that tassel is not made of single threads. The construction and design includes bindings and support to hold it together, keeping the threads from knotting and getting lost or damaged. And I'm thinking that right now, those threads represent those surrounding you who have supported you here in this auditorium today. Your parents, grandparents, families, special relationships, friends, and faculty, staff, and administration of Nichols College. So as that tassel continues to brush against your cheek today, as you walk across the platform, blowing on it and getting it to the out of your face as you move that to the other side, think of the density of what that tassel represents, and may you be overwhelmed with a sense of thanksgiving and gratitude. So with all that in mind, for those inclined to pray, let us pray. Dear God, I am overwhelmed with a sense of thanksgiving and gratitude for this institution and class of 2024. I pray that your blessing would continue to be upon the faculty and the staff and the administration here at Nichols College. I thank you for their commitment as they have poured out their knowledge, time, and wisdom into these students graduating today. And we give you thanks for all the families and friends and supporting, encouraging, and inspiring these students along their journey. And most importantly, we pray for this class of 2024. Arm them with truth, integrity, compassion, mercy, love, knowledge, and an unquenchable thirst for wisdom. And may your blessing be upon them. May your face shine upon them and be gracious to them. Give them peace. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Trey. And now be seated. At this time, class of 2024 President Ingrid Dinero de Souza Oliveira and graduating Master of Business Administration candidate Ellis Cropper will offer the class address. Ingrid?
Members of the Board of Trustees, President Pajczynski, Mr. Crowley, Provost Borgia, members of Nichols College faculty, staff, and administration, parents, family members, distinguished and invited guests, and of course, my fellow classmates of the class of 2024, good morning. It is a singular honor to be asked to speak here today and share with you my thoughts and reflections of the class of 2024. It has been a journey like no other, but we arrived as a testament to our perseverance and commitment to being our best selves in all aspects of our lives. In the closing stanza of his poem, It Couldn't Be Done, Edgar Albert Guest writes, "There are thousands to tell you it couldn't be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you, one by one, the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that couldn't be done, and you'll do it." As a first-generation student, I never imagined achieving as much as I have, and I believe that many of you here today may be feeling the same way. Some of us may have had naysayers that told us that getting our degree couldn't be done, but you did it. Some of us, in some cases, our naysayers may have been ourselves, but you did it. In fact, Throughout our journey, we have seen our fellow classmates do what others may have thought couldn't be done. The student athletes who tirelessly balance academic demands with practice and athletic contests, and after 4 years of life on the field, ice, or court, and the classroom, you are here today, and you did it. The student workers who balance working split shifts, evening hours, weekends, and built their course schedule around a work schedule to pay for their education, you are here today, and you did it. The students who have had to work even harder to comprehend a theory or master a math concept, you are here today, and you did it. The students that took on leadership positions to create a greater sense of community for their peers and sometimes face the oddest of circumstances, you are here today, and you did it. The students who doubted themselves, especially in those times where they felt overwhelmed or unable to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you are here today, and you did it. It is undeniable that our time on the Hill has been nothing short of extraordinary. Looking back to when we were going through a pandemic and we were restricted to our rooms, only interacting with our roommates. Despite these initial limitations, we emerged from those challenging times with an unwavering determination to thrive. We seized every opportunity to immerse ourselves into the campus culture. Our class has embodied the spirit of engagement and involvement, with a significant majority of the students assuming pivotal roles in the Student Government Association, athletics, as teaching associates, and working for admissions, the library, ACES, Lumbo, or FELS. This commitment demonstrates our dedication to enhancing the Nichols community. When we saw an opportunity to make Nichols a better place, we did not just complain on Yik Yak. We worked hard to improve the quality of life for each other. That is why we are here today, and we did it. While there are so many things we achieved, it would be naive for us to believe that we didn't need others in our lives to get to this moment in time. For me, it is my family that taught me so many life lessons. My mom taught me to be strong, but lead with a kind heart. My dad taught me the value of hard work. My stepdad taught me how to have vision, and my stepmom taught me to enjoy the life I've been given. My vó, Ijingjinga, taught me to be dedicated to the things I do. And my siblings, who bring smiles and laughter to my life, and the rest of my family, who constantly remind me how loved I am, eu te amo. My fellow classmates, now is the time to thank those people in our lives, outside of Nichols. May they be your parents, step-parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, spouse, partner, or friends that supported you and taught you life lessons that helped you be here today. Please rise and join me in giving a rousing round of applause for these people who never told us that we cannot do it. Like our family and friends, I am certain there was a member of the Nichols community that also believed in you more than you believed in yourself. For me, it was Professor Len Harmon. To him, I wish to express my gratitude for his guidance, wisdom, and support he offered me as a member of the Nichols College Bison Consulting Group. Your dedication to your students and your passion for teaching and providing such an amazing real-world business learning opportunity has inspired me in ways I cannot fully express. Again, my classmates, now is the time to thank those members of the Nichols community that challenged you to think critically encouraged you to pursue your passions, and believed in your potential. Let's let them know how incredibly grateful we are for having the opportunity to learn from them. Please rise again and join me in giving a rousing round of applause for these people who would not let us tell ourselves that we cannot do it. I would like to conclude my remarks with my first ever memory on the Hill. My mother and I were driving to tour the campus, and she kept insisting, "Ingrid, we're going the wrong way. All I see are trees." During my tour, I had two things going through my mind. The first, these hills are going to be the death of me. And the second, please don't say this is a party school, because my mom will end this tour immediately. Luckily, she never found out about 8 tenured, and the admissions ambassador had the perfect answers for my mom's probing questions. I was told that in the daily commotion of going to class, I would always see a familiar face everywhere I turned. Today, as I stand before you, class of 2024, I realize that it is the warm smiles, our shared struggles, and the unwavering support that has filled my heart. I am deeply grateful to each and every one of you for becoming those cherished, familiar faces that have made my college experience truly special. Good luck, class of 2024. Congrats on being here today, and you did it. Thank you.
Friends, family members, educators, and supporters of the undergraduate and graduate class of 2024, good morning. I am humbled and excited to share with you how my experience as a member of the Executive MBA further solidified my thoughts on why lifelong learning and service should be a part of your journey towards a happy life. I know for myself that both things have given me meaning, purpose, and sustained me when things in my life were not going in a straight line. In full disclosure, it has been some time since I gave a speech like this to such an esteemed group of individuals. Fortunately, during the MBA program, I was given permission by Dr. Foucault to consult with AI. So I asked AI, what's the purpose of having a graduate student speak at the school's commencement ceremony? He came back with about 9 reasons. The first one was relatability, insinuating that I would be closer in age and experience to the graduating class. I guess AI got that one wrong. A better reason was inspiration and motivation, stating that the speaker can share their personal journeys, challenges, and triumphs, which can be inspirational and motivational for undergraduates who may be considering further education or about to embark on their own professional path. That reason resonated with me. Coming to Nichols and being a part of the graduate school so matched who I am. Someone who wants to learn, to serve, and teach others. In 1718, Voltaire, when he was about 24 years old, saw education and knowledge as essential tools for social progress and used his influence to support social reform. He famously recommended that we judge a man by his questions rather than his answers. Even as I complete this degree, I still have a lot of questions. And I'm okay with that because I still want to learn. But I also come from a family of lifelong learners. My mom, who passed away about 3 years ago, received her master's degree at the age of 60, just like I'm doing today. And my aunt, who traveled from New Orleans to be here today, is a medical doctor, but went back to school and earned a doctorate in forensic psychology later in life. It is my family's love of learning that inspired me to continue on learning. For me, to stop learning is to stop living. So continue your own learning. Don't let it stop today. I would also like to speak to you about living a life of service, which I also believe is integral to one's life. One of my faculty, Dr. Stephanie Jones, professor of creative decision-making, wrote, "Becoming an inspirational leader is a journey of being a positive influence and motivating others." That is what inspires me to do my current passion project of teaching financial literacy to elementary school children. Using a model of transformative leadership that I learned at Nichols while sustaining personal happiness, I am working with the next generation to ensure they are ready for the real world. Sound familiar to your educational experience at Nichols? I get to experience a new level of happiness because Craig Doughton, the principal of Vernon Hill Elementary School, he is allowing me to fulfill my purpose. He is an example of a transformative leader because the students he encountered through his journey are usually misunderstood and underestimated. Mr. Doughton made a personal commitment to ensure that every student he encounters will receive the highest quality of education and instruction possible. For example, Ulani, who will one day be a world-class photographer, loves life behind the camera. Dominique, his passion was to be a trash man. But after an introductory class on careers and entrepreneurship, he has his sights set on being a businessman. I am certain that he will own the largest waste management company in New England. Or Joycelyn, a third grader, who said to me, "Before you started teaching this class, I did not think that I could be a doctor. But now I know that if I just try, I can be a doctor." And with a huge smile, she said, "You have given me the courage to do all that I'm doing right now." Her words touched my heart. These kids remind me every day that where I am is where I'm supposed to be. And the best days of my life is when I've made a positive difference in the life of another. So I challenge you to consider, how can I help another? The research on happiness is clear. To experience enjoyment, satisfaction, and purpose, seek ways to serve another. In closing, I want to thank the members of Nichols College Graduate Office and faculty for their support and encouragement as I continued my pursuit of learning. It has been an amazing experience and one that I hope others will seek. To my fellow graduates, keep learning and keep finding ways to help others. Take what you have learned and make the world a better place. I promise you that in doing so, a joyful life will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellis. And thank you also for your 30 years of military service, and thank you to all the veterans today. Since the founding of Nichols College, there have been 105 doctoral degrees awarded by this institution. At this year's ceremony, we will be awarding 2 significant honorary degrees. I will be assisted in the awarding of these degrees by Nichols College Provost Daniel J. Borgia. Our first recipient, Miss Amy Pitter, please come forward. The citation will be read by Trustee Cynthia A. Began.
Thank you, Bill. Amy Pitter, you are a trailblazing chief executive, upholder of accounting laws and ethics, and passionate advocate for equity and inclusion. Throughout your career, you have dedicated yourself to taking on the challenges of today's accounting profession. Meeting those challenges has taken you to the highest levels of the field. You served as an executive consultant and garnered 25 years of experience helping government agencies transform their businesses. As commissioner of the Massachusetts Department of Revenue, you practice a philosophy of collaboration and engagement, bringing welcome changes to the agency and improving relationships with communities across the Commonwealth. As president and CEO of the nonprofit Massachusetts Society of CPAs, you bolstered efforts to protect and promote the value of accounting professionals. Your key focus on building a diverse and inclusive CPA pipeline improved access to the profession for many people. Your vision and mission to remove barriers to entry and inspire the next generation of CPAs led to the disbursement of more than $1 million in scholarships. To honor your legacy of unwavering commitment to the accounting community, the Society launched the Amy A. Pitter Presidential Scholarship in 2023. Your dedication to your profession and your work fostering inclusion serve as motivation and encouragement to those graduating today. Your accomplishments represent the leadership qualities and appreciation for a diverse world that we seek to instill in all of our students. Because of your professional attainments and efforts to improve opportunities for all, Amy Pitter, you are honored today on this 4th day of May 2024 as the recipient of the Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, with all rights and privileges appertaining thereto from Nichols College. Congratulations, Amy.
Mr. Ralph Crowley, Jr., please come forward. This citation will be read by Trustee James Coughlin, Sr.
Good morning. Ralph Crowley, Jr., friend, innovative leader, civic champion, and noted philanthropist. As president and CEO, you have raised Polar Beverages to new heights of success as the fourth generation to lead the family-owned and operated company. From its modest beginnings in 1882 with your great-grandfather selling mineral water on the streets of Worcester, Polar is now the largest independent bottling company in the USA. Since taking the reins in 1992, you have grown Polar from an $18 million to a $1 billion enterprise and a national player in the beverage industry. You have maintained the flavor of this iconic local beverage manufacturer while seizing opportunities for expansion, both economic and geographic. Yet, your headquarters have remained in Worcester, where your family has lived for more than 140 years. Polar Beverage is an important economic contributor to the area and has stayed meaningful, involved in the community. You played an instrumental role in the beginning of the Worcester Red Sox, or better known as the Woo Sox, to Central Massachusetts, which was transformational development for the city. Polar Park, where the Woo Sox play their home games, is the centerpiece of a revitalized canal district. Your family also owns Wachusett Mountain Ski Area in Princeton, Massachusetts. Your strategic and innovative leadership of Polar Beverages is a source of inspiration and aspiration for today's graduates, as it is your genuine and deep-rooted commitment to your hometown. Because of your commendable professional achievements and your demonstrated dedication to the community, Ralph Crowley, Jr., you are honored today on this 4th day of May 2024 as the recipient of Doctor of Business Administration, honoris causa, with all rights and privileges appertaining thereto from Nichols College.
You can keep that. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Ralph Crowley, Jr.
Well, that's a heck of a promotion. Thank you, President. I'm honored. Well, it is so fun to be here today for your graduation. So, dear graduates, President Brzezinski, trustees, faculty, family, and friends, first of all, thank you for the honor of having me as your commencement speaker. Nichols is a special college. I have many close friends, including my friend Jim, who just said those nice words about me. I hope my wife was here to hear them. They've gone on to superb careers. Your college fosters entrepreneurship. Some of you have started your own businesses. Some of you, half of you played sports, so you know the value of working with others. Many of you are the first in your family to receive a college degree. Your college features leadership training, small classes, close-knit community, on a picturesque campus with a rich history. You even have your own golf course. When thinking about your college life, it brought to mind another commencement speaker, Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney starred in the movie Back to School. His word to the graduating class is, "Don't go. It's a jungle out there." Obviously, I'm kidding. I cherished my college life, but business has been even more rewarding and fulfilling and stimulating. This is your day with the people you love who helped you reach this symbolic liftoff. With 5 kids and a heap of relatives, my wife Joni and I have been to countless graduations. Regrettably, I can only remember one speaker. So I set a personal goal today. My job is not to bore you. Since many of you are about to receive a business degree, please allow me to tell you a little bit about Polar Beverages. I promise it's not a dull story. The founding of Polar. My great-grandfather emigrated from Ireland during the potato famine. Coincidentally, my great-grandfather is also your CFO, Ed Crowley's great-grandfather. At that time, there were many signs around Worcester, "Irish need not apply." So that's why so many Irish became entrepreneurs. My great-grandfather started a business called Crowley Ballbrook Whiskey in 1882. It did quite well. He upset a lot of neighbors. He would show up on payday with his whiskey wagon and sell, so a lot of wives had to beat my grandfather to the paycheck, but he did okay. Things was very comfortable until Prohibition came along. That upset the apple cart. The family myth is there were 2 Irish Catholic families in the alcohol business in Massachusetts, one in the east, one in the west. When Prohibition came along, the one in the west went into the bubbly water business and the straight water business. The one in the east stayed in the whiskey business, but also went into the movie business. They ultimately did very well. They became senators, ambassadors, congressmen, and even a president. Of course, I'm referring to the Kennedy family. We've kind of caught back up with them, I think. After Prohibition, Polar muddled along, and I'm going to take you a deep walk into the history of how we got there. We were 80% private label, retailer brand. So think what that is. You go to your Stop and Shop or your Price Chopper or Market Basket. Well, we made those products. I helped the brand Polar was not even available in Dudley, Massachusetts. I helped a close friend move from Price Chopper to the biggest account we had, First National. The first thing he did when he got there was decided he needed to split the business in half to beat our price down. It occurred to me then how vulnerable our strategy was. And it was time for us to get a really different strategy. That's when we figured out we needed to control our own destiny and establish our own brands. The first of the 5 divisions we created was Polar. Polar has grown from not being available in Dudley to almost a $500 million brand at retail on its own. It's even available now nationwide. Our second part of our business is private label. We remain in the private label business because it strategically aligns us with our retail partners. And now we even bought our biggest competitors all out so we can get some favorable pricing. Third business part of our business is franchise bottling. These are perpetuity contracts with KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper, located in Dallas, Texas. They own brands like 7-Up, A&W, Sunkist, and of course RC, which we carry because those are my initials. The fourth business we have is our New Age business, and that includes brands like Snapple, Nantucket Nectars, Sparkling Ice, Celsius, C4. And if you're going to win a horse race, and today is Derby Day, you want to control all of a category. So we control the high-end waters like Evian, Core, Fiji, Essentia. And that's a big part of our business. Our fifth part of our business is a very large part, and it's going to be where you entrepreneurs head. It's creating brands where people don't want to have assets like we have to do, and they remain asset light, and we produce on their behalf. The only problem was we had a fundamental problem. If there was a good brand, and I'll use a couple of examples, Monster Energy. We took it from number 4 and made it number 1 in New England. And then Rockstar didn't even exist here. We took it from not existing to number 2. As soon as they did, they left to Coke, and as soon as they were doing well, they left for Coke and Pepsi, respectively. So we changed the model where instead of just keeping the dogs, we get to keep the good guys. So now we invest in these brands, and so we become fully aligned. And this has become a real key part of our business. So in the last couple of years, we've sold our interest in Vitamin Water, Celsius, Honest Tea, Body Armor. These brands sell for outrageous money. I mean, Body Armor, by the way, the owner of Body Armor has probably the winning horse in today's Kentucky Derby, but he sold his business for $8.7 billion to Coke. We had a very, very, very small piece of it, and which was good for our family and associates. A key part of our business is innovation, and we talked a little bit at dinner last night about it. And so it all began a few years ago when the young lady that ran marketing came into my office, and she said she had a brilliant product idea. She explained for April Fools, she wanted to make a limited time offer. Her plan was not to tell anybody what the flavor was, but to take the unicorn horn and put it on the polar bear's head. And have it out for about 10 days. She said, "What do you think?" I said, "Young lady, what I'm about to say to you, you're probably going to turn me to HR. But you're pregnant, your hormones are a mess, and you're not thinking clearly." She said, "Dad, I'm turning you into HR." It was an amazing success with people with television cameras around the office trying to get interviews. She wouldn't give anybody, saying there's no unicorn experts on campus. Ultimately, this stuff started selling for $100 a bottle on eBay. It was out of code, so I wouldn't recommend it. If you're the market leader, you need to innovate, and that's one thing we've really become good at. Since Izzy's initial shop with Unicorn Seltzer, twice a year, we do limited time offers, and it creates a lot of excitement around our brand and customer loyalty. We've done many acquisitions, buying brands for our distribution system. Our distribution system has 500 salespeople, several hundred trucks. We go to colleges like Nichols, DCU Center, supermarkets, mass merch, wholesale clubs, and it's a key part of our business. But the biggest acquisitions we've done are in large beverage plants. For example, I mentioned that nasty competitor that made our pricing lousy for private label. We acquired them, Adirondack and Scotia, New York. Scotia, New York is a gentrified way of saying Schenectady. The other plant we have is in Temple, Texas, right in the heart of Texas. And our final plant is called Polar Southern Bottling in Fitzgerald, Georgia. Fitzgerald, Georgia is the Deep South. It's where Jefferson Davis was captured at the end of the Civil War. When we acquired it, I was meeting our new 165 associates. And I went down to explain to the new associates the difference between working for a family company and a public company. I was pouring my heart out, explaining we make seltzer water, you make highly sweetened strawberry soda, and that's your number one item, but ours is seltzer. I explained our love for the Patriots, the Red Sox, and how we would learn to love the Georgia Bulldogs and the Atlanta Braves. After 15 minutes, it became very apparent to me that not one person understood what the fast-talking Yankee was saying. So I stopped my speech, and I said, I brought the mayor to interpret. The mayor condensed my 15 minutes of passion to, "Mr. Crowley says welcome." I did get the most interesting question I've ever had as a CEO. A young man in the audience asked, "Is it okay to wear his company uniform on weekends?" I paused and said to myself, I wonder what that means. And I thought about it. The unemployment rate in Fitzgerald was 14%. The average income was $24,000, and the average house cost $56,000. If this young man wore his company uniform in town on the weekends, he would be the most eligible bachelor in town. So if you go to Fitzgerald, you'll see a lot of people dressed on Saturday night in their polo uniforms. You don't see that in Worcester. So what does it allow you to do when you grow a company and get it be successful? It allows you to do a little bit of giving back. And that's why we got involved in the Woo Sox. The Crowley family honestly did not need to be better known in our hometown. We should be taking those marketing dollars and taking them to Austin, Texas or LA. But when we learned how instrumental the park would be to transitioning the long blighted former steel plant in the Canal District, we said we've got to be part of the renaissance in our hometown. And we were all in. Coincidentally, it gave me the chance to meet and negotiate and become friends with Larry Lucchino, the principal owner of the Woo Sox and former president of the Red Sox, who was instrumental in breaking the curse of 86 years. Larry is an icon. He has 4 World Series rings, 3 with the Red Sox, 1 with the Baltimore Orioles, 1 Super Bowl ring for the Redskins, and most impressively, a NCAA Final Four watch when he played for Princeton. He also built 5 iconic parks: Camden Yard, Petco Park, JetBlue Park. He saved and renovated historic Fenway Park, and of course he built Polar Park. There are 1,200 new units being built around Polar Park, apartments around Polar Park. Worcester had long been stuck at 185,000 population, neck and neck with Providence, Rhode Island. Now Worcester has catapulted to the number 2 largest city in New England with 206 residents. It's just the park and the Woo Sox have made a transitional change to making our hometown a much more homogeneous place. My fond hope, and many of you know that Larry passed away about 3 weeks ago. My fond hope is that Larry will be in the Hall of Fame this summer, because I can't think of anybody that's more deserving. Why has Polar been successful? Our secret sauce is people, relationships, customers, and a clear and consistent business strategy. One skill that I personally have is attracting good people to work with us. Our senior team has become remarkable. And what they in turn have done is bring in super people to work below them. So that's how you build a team. You put, as Jim Collins would say, you get the right people on the bus and they get the right people on the bus. When I was your age, I thought the lowest form of life was sales. By the way, I'm in sales. Over time, customers become your friends. And now I feel more as a sales guy more than the company's ambassador as I travel around. Some have accused me of changing my chief executive title to Chief Entertainment Officer, but I think its CEO still works for me. Some of the most important lessons you've learned already are from your fellow students here at Nichols. Just by living, studying, playing sports, watching sports, I hope you keep those friendships and cherish them. My final thought for you is time. Time is your most valuable and precious asset. Once it's gone, it can't be regained. Do not waste time on a job you do not love. Your occupation is more than financial stability. It should provide you with personal satisfaction, even an identity, a chance to grow, a sense of purpose. But most of all, my message to you is business is fun, and enjoy it. So thank you so much for listening to me. I really am proud of you all for graduating and thrilled to be part of your graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Crowley. We truly appreciate your ability to be with us today. Now please welcome to the podium Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees, Carolyn Burke, for a special recognition.
Thank you, President Pazinski. Has a nice ring to it. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I am delighted to recognize 2 former presidents of Nichols College with the distinction of President Emeriti. Emeritus status is an honorary designation given to any Nichols College president who has provided outstanding, distinguished, and extended service to the Nichols community. Colonel James L. Conrad Sr. and Dr. Susan West Engelmeyer are the first recipients of this title. I encourage you to read more about their historic contributions in your commencement programs. Jeffrey Conrad and Michael Conrad will be accepting on behalf of their grandfather, the founder of Nichols College, who passed away in 1974. Jeffrey and Michael, please come forward. And Randy. In 1931, Colonel James L. Conrad Sr. founded Nichols Junior College with a unique plan to train aspiring business executives in a collegiate and residential setting. Over a span of 35 years, he led Nichols through a world war, a transition to a four-year college, and a campus, academic, and athletic transformation. He is widely regarded as the father of Nichols and fondly remembered and revered for his dedication to students and their character development. We honor him with the distinction of President Emeritus, posthumous, for his pioneering spirit and visionary leadership, without which, simply put, there would be no Nichols College. Dr. Susan West Engelmeyer, please come forward. Dr. Engelmeyer was president of Nichols College from 2011 to 2021, a tumultuous decade in higher education, culminating in a global pandemic that challenged the resilience and grit of the hardiest institutions. Under her leadership, Nichols thrived, realizing significant strategic gains, unprecedented support, and the momentum to soar even higher. She rallied the Nichols community around a vision of impactful leadership education and forged an innovative path toward actualization through efforts such as the Institute for Women's Leadership, which now bears her name. We honor her with the distinction of President Emerita for advancing Nichols during a critical juncture with capable, careful, and collaborative stewardship.
Each year, one member of the Nichols Senior Advisory Council is selected for a 2-year term on the Board of Trustees. It gives me great pleasure to announce our newest board member, Taylor Cornell. Congratulations. In a few moments, we will begin conferring degrees upon the graduates of the class of 2024. First, I would like to take a moment to recognize 6 very special students who are receiving the President's Award for Academic Excellence. These individuals have achieved a perfect 4.0. As I call your name, please stand. Trina Marie Farron. Tanner Reed Hammond. Addie L. Hughes. Megan Elizabeth McClaney. Crystal Ray Nelson. And Ryan Elias Spitz. Congratulations to each of you. This ceremony dates back to the early universities in Europe, when education was chiefly for and by the clergy. The academic regalia, now worn by college faculty and graduates, is similar to that worn in earlier times. In those universities, graduates dedicated themselves to a life of serving others. The act of conferring the degree is symbolic of admission of each graduate into the company of scholars and an expressed willingness to be dedicated person using knowledge to help build a better and more prosperous world. We will now confer the degrees. Each degree candidate will come forward individually. Nicholas Barnes, Dean of the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Dr. Jean Beaupre, Dean for the School of Business, and Dr. Robin Furcal, Dean of the Graduate School, will preside. Each candidate will be greeted by Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Randall V. Becker, who will be assisted by Casey Poplowski, Assistant Dean for Advising and Registration. Dean Barnes.
Candidates will be called alphabetically under each respective degree, so we ask family members and guests to anticipate when their graduate is to receive his or her degree. We also ask that you hold your applause till the end. We know you won't, but we read it anyway. I will now read the names of the candidates for the Associate in Business Administration degree. I will now read the names of the candidates for the Associate in Business Administration degree. Kurt W. Hope. Vera Antwi Osei. I will now begin reading the names of the candidates for I will now read the names of the candidates for Bachelor of Arts degree. Jacqueline Marion Aslin, magna cum laude. Jacqueline has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Madison Pamela Barnaby, cum laude. Haley Elizabeth Bogus, cum laude. Haley has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Cody Matthew Bohannon, cum laude. Calvin Boss, cum laude. Madison Elizabeth Collins Macedo. Jack L. Cooney, cum laude. James Brian Roy Cost, summa cum laude. Alexis Ray Cruikshank. Alexis has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Mason Aaron David. Elizabeth Judith Diorio. Zachary Donald Eaton, summa cum laude. Zachary is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Criminal Psychology, presented by Dr. Brian McCoy. Haley Elizabeth Erickson, magna cum laude. Lillian Margaret Fangle. Miguel Adrian Figueroa, summa cum laude. Miguel is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Communication, presented by Dr. Kelly Dice. Heather Carolyn Govin, summa cum laude. Heather is the recipient of the William Stewart Award for Loyalty, Integrity, and Cooperation, presented by Dr. Arthur McGovern. Additionally, she is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Psychology, presented by Dr. Thomas Davis. Heather has also earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Lydia Rose Hanson-Willett. Novia Skyanne Henderson. Sophia Jeter. Tavon Jones. Summer Elizabeth Klein, cum laude. John S. Knox, magna cum laude. John has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Evelyn May Lenu, magna cum laude. Madison Ray Manser, cum laude. Nicholas David Martin, cum laude. Stephanie E. Maurice. Megan Elizabeth McElhaney, summa cum laude. Megan has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Hannah Mary Murphy, cum laude. Zachary Quinton Nace. Prince Patel, magna cum laude. Prince has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Nia Francine Pires, summa cum laude. Nia is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Criminal Justice, presented by Professor Nikki Anderson. Xavier Michael Powell. Connor Aaron Raff, magna cum laude. Allison Paige Reynolds. Alexa Tacoma Ryan. Alexa is the recipient of the Colonel Conrad Founders Award for the most significant improvement by a student of Nichols College, presented by Dr. James Dice. Dominic Michael Savastano, magna cum laude. Rachel Lee Smarden, summa cum laude. Rachel has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar and Emerging Leader. Emma E. Tyler, summa cum laude. Abriana Eli Vasquez. Coleman Paul Wright. Congratulations to the Bachelors of Arts recipients. I will now begin reading the names of the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. Jared Robert Abrahamson. Joseph Scott Allegrini, magna cum laude. Louisa T. Emerald. Alexander Paul Amendola, magna cum laude. James Richard Anderson, magna cum laude. Alex G. Ashambo, magna cum laude. Pablo Arno Beltran. Matthias Oliver Backstrom, cum laude. Henry DeJesus Baez, Jr., cum laude. Dante Joseph Barboza. Eamon Charles Yaz Beneski. Philip Oscar Frederick Bjorkman, cum laude. Jack Ryan Bocino. Zaire Judah Booker. Ricky A. Bowden, Jr., summa cum laude. Ricky has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Nicholas S. Brown, cum laude. Brian John Capello. Kelly Lynn Carlin, cum laude. Kelly is the recipient of the Dr. James L. Conrad Jr. Bowl for institutional loyalty, dedication, and service to Nichols College. Presented by Dr. Brian McCoy, Kelly has also earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Nicole Kate Carnavale. Nicole has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Anna M. Carrigan, magna cum laude. Jacob William Cashin. Keely Rose Serba, summa cum laude. Keely is the recipient of the Faculty Award for Industry and Consistent Application, presented by Dr. Erin Casey Williams. Keely has also earned the distinctions of Nichols Honors Scholar and Emerging Leader. Jada M. Caesar. Christopher Anthony Charity, magna cum laude. Christopher is a recipient of the Dr. Quincy H. Merrill Award to the student with the highest standards of character and citizenship, presented by Professor Thomas M. Stewart. Christopher Anthony, oops, that was Christopher. Keegan Choate, summa cum laude. Keegan is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Finance, presented by Professor Karen Curran. George Grady Clifton Constantino. Justin Connor Comasana. Justin has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Jenna Rose Condon, summa cum laude. Jenna has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar and Emerging Leader. Brandon K. Cope, summa cum laude. Brandon has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Taylor Colleen Cornell. Taylor has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Alec Miguel Correa, cum laude. Jordan Kucher, magna cum laude. Blake Michael Koval. Andrew James Crota. Claire Marie Curry, magna cum laude. Claire has earned the distinctions of Nichols Honors Scholar and Emerging Leader. Courtney Elise Sabaski. Kayla T. DeCruz, cum laude. J. Seth Dalton, summa cum laude. Hannah Rose Damon. Gabriel Monte Santiago da Selva, summa cum laude. Antonio de los Santos, Jr. Felicia Victoria Damaris DeChico, magna cum laude. Abigail Elizabeth DeGray, magna cum laude. Abel Delgado, with high distinction. Lauren Carol Dennis, cum laude. Ingrid Pinheiro de Souza Oliveira. Jonathan Todd Devlin. Matthew Michael Dineza, magna cum laude. Burke O'Leary Dion. Emma Helena Dix. Daniel S. Donovan Blanford. Daniel Robert Ducasse. Michael David Dunayevsky. Martin Christopher Dupuy. Jack Sweeney Dussault. Yara Elias. Tucker Trey Erodi, summa cum laude. Keenan James Esau, magna cum laude. Keenan has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Kyle Xavier Ettenhofer. Sydney Amelia Ewell. Trina Marie Farron, summa cum laude. Trina has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Jesse P. Fletcher, summa cum laude. Jesse is the recipient of the Award for Academic Excellence in the Undergraduate Online Program, presented by Professor Christine Bowden. Megan Fuller.
I will continue to read the names of the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. Theodore Robert Gajewski, cum laude. Colby Burke Gillis. Jack Parr Goldberg. Jack E. Goodman with high distinction. Jack is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in General Business, presented by Dr. Timothy Liptrap. Ethan William Gosper, magna cum laude. Haley Georgia Granato, magna cum laude. Nicholas Joseph Gualtieri, summa cum laude. Nicholas is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Corporate Finance and Investments, presented by Professor Bryant Richards. Nicholas has also earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Kelvin M. Gutierrez, magna cum laude. Jared Huntley Haight, summa cum laude. Tanner Reed Hammond, summa cum laude. Tanner is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Accounting, presented by Dr. Brian Coleman. Alexander R. Hanna, summa cum laude. Alexander is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Accounting and Finance, presented by Dr. Brendan Williams. David Edward Harding, cum laude. Zachary Derek Harris. William J. Heller, Jr. Anthony Sebastian Hernandez, cum laude. Christina Marie Hernandez, magna cum laude. Rosemalin Laureate Hernandez Abreu, summa cum laude. Zara Ann Herview. Addie L. Hughes, summa cum laude. Addie is the recipient of the Trustees Award for Best Overall Achievement, presented by Randall V. Becker, Chair of the Nichols Board of Trustees. Additionally, she is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Sport Management, presented by Professor Brian Wendry. Addie has also earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Brennan Corey Hyde. Mackenzie Marie Jackson. River Cade Jackson. Cassidy May Jacobs, magna cum laude. Benjamin Cole Jerome, cum laude. Jack Eric Jordan. Miron Yusufi, cum laude. Sashio James Kakati, magna cum laude. Grace Michelle Kilman, summa cum laude. Grace has earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Colby Thomas Knight. Jordan Alexandra Knowles, magna cum laude. Jordan has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Benjamin Hogan Lapointe. Jacob Anthony LaRoche, summa cum laude. Jacob has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Ryan Thomas Latour. Nicholas Lavrenchuk. Nicholas has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Matthew Lopez, cum laude. Andrew J. Makowicki, summa cum laude. Jaden Martin. Michael Maslaskis, cum laude. Nicholas Scott Maddie, magna cum laude. Nicholas is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Human Resource Management presented by Dr. Kim Krumzik. Nicholas has also earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Martha May Kane, magna cum laude. Colin John Patrick McGuire, magna cum laude. Dylan Christian Matthew McMahon, summa cum laude. Dylan is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Management, presented by Dr. Brendan Williams. Grace Caroline Mellinson. Cole Antonio Mello. Cooper Joseph Melvin, cum laude. Sabrina C. Menard. Brianna Jean Merrigan, summa cum laude. Kevin John Moriarty, magna cum laude. Malin Mitchell Myrie, Jr. Dylan A. Nault. Crystal Ray Nelson, summa cum laude. Crystal is the recipient of the Clarence McKean Award for Outstanding Achievement in Marketing, presented by Dr. Tuba Bingle. Crystal has also earned the distinction of Emerging Leader. Benjamin Higgins Nero. Mark Christopher Newell. Ian Michael Nichols. Connor Nidri, summa cum laude. Connor has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Emma Noel. Emma Michelle Norton, magna cum laude. Juleni Andreina Ovale Beato, magna cum laude. Melissa O. Owusu. Jack Michael Padden. William L. Paradise IV, cum laude. Dante R. Persegian. Nicholas James Patterson. Jose Ernesto Paz Montero. Ashley Nicole Puma. Keith Patrick Quayle. Connor M. Rancourt, magna cum laude. Alexis Michelle Reed. Samuel William Reisman, summa cum laude. Chantel Richard, with high distinction. Christopher Shane Ryan, magna cum laude. Sierra Alexis Ryan, cum laude. Timothy David Reinierson. Anthony Jason Sacco, cum laude. Anthony is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Economics, presented by Dr. Carol Gil Vasquez. Macy Marie Sally. Albert William Salonis III, cum laude. Joshua Angelo Santos. Raquel Rocha Santos. Luke Thomas Sargent, cum laude. Trevor Lee Schwartzman, summa cum laude. Mary Clarissa Seabury, magna cum laude. Mary is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Digital and Social Media Marketing, presented by Professor Leonard Harmon. Jade Natasha Schultz, summa cum laude. Andrew C. Skowronek, summa cum laude. Andrew has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Tanner Daniel Sirocco, magna cum laude. Madeline D. Sudant, summa cum laude. Madeline has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Tyler Mark St. Ange, cum laude. Sean Langevin Stockhouse, magna cum laude. Sean is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Real Estate Management, presented by Professor Marianne Conrad. Jonathan Raymond Swift, magna cum laude. Jeffrey J. Talion, summa cum laude. Jeffrey is the recipient of the Robert Henry Eaton Dean Emeritus Award for Dedication, Service, and Commitment to Perfection, presented by Dr. Kevin Menser. Additionally, he is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Business Analytics, presented by Dr. Jason Price. Jeffrey has also earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Alyssa M. Tarabokia, summa cum laude. Alyssa has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar and Emerging Leader. Ryan Paul Taraziak. Samuel Fife Teixeira, magna cum laude. Richard James Tierney, cum laude. Mackenzie Jean Tingloff, cum laude. Mackenzie is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Hospitality, Events, and Tourism, presented by Professor Marianne Conrad. Fanta Traue. Carrie M. Tremblay, cum laude. Carrie has earned the distinction of Nichols Honors Scholar. Joshua Jeffrey Vitti, cum laude. Joseph Vulo, summa cum laude. Doha Omar Walid. Kendall Jerome Walsh IV. Grace Brooks Wiggett, cum laude. Nicholas Matthew Wimet, cum laude. Nicholas is the recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in International Business, presented by Dr. Julio Elias. And now the candidate for a dual degree in Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Ryan Elias Spitz, summa cum laude. Ryan is the recipient of the Arthur J.C. Underhill Award to the student who best represents the ideals of Nichols College, presented by Professor Andrea Becker. Additionally, he is a recipient of the Zeta Alpha Phi Award for Outstanding Achievement in Criminal Justice Management, presented by Dr. Allison McDowell Smith. Ryan has also earned the distinction of Nichols Honor Scholar and Emerging Leader.
I will now read the names of the master degree candidates alphabetically under each respective degree. Starting with our Master of Business Administration degree candidates, Jessica Lynn Botello. Kyler Lee Brown. Matthew Scott Cahalan. Erin Lynn Can. Claire Ann Caulfield. Douglas A. Couture. Lucas C. Couture. Ellis James Cropper. Joseph Rock Daigle, Jr. Brianna Teresa Doherty. Adam Tyler Dulay. Carolyn R. Elliott. Christine M. Feedy. Craig M. Fisk. Nicholas Michael Gerwin. Javier Godoy Gomez. Michael J. Girton. Jonte Zion Joseph. Basha Elizabeth Kozer. Taylor Juliana LaBeouf. Catherine E. Laquadera. Catherine is the recipient of the Graduate Elite Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Business Administration program. Anastasia Lasme. Timothy J. Levine. Nicholas J. Lewis. Joseph Edward Makoyak. Katrina Yurvena Maximova. Kelsey Q. McLaughlin. Colby Robert Mitchell. Dylan Lamont Naisfair. Candice Justine Nelson. Melissa S. O'Brien. Daniel Ryan O'Connell. Leandra Nicole Ortiz. Nicholas Alexander Padilla. Austin Duffy Paul. Jennifer A. Perlich. Elena Ray Plord. Olivia Nicole Perillo. Valerie Ganella Carollo. Stacy J. Ranucci. Ryan David Reisdorf. Ariana L. Rivas. Patrick William Sawyer. Benjamin Raymond Shepherdson. Tyler John Shanek. Maximiso Carmen Simonetti. Jillian R. Spillane. Evan St. Arnold. Sean Terasiak. Trini Thies. Ryan Matthew Toy. Robert Thomas Verno. Brittany Elizabeth McCauley Watson. Darian Gregory Waugh. Sabrina Lee Webb. Dylan Welbeck. I will now read the names of the Master of Science and Accounting degree candidates. Zoe Jean Adams. Ryan Michael Buckley. Rena C. DeRosia. Rena is the recipient of the Graduate Elite Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science and Accounting program. Kayla Ann DeWitt. Jenna Gordon. Veronica Elima Helock. Seth Michael Livernoy. Kristen Michelle McSweeney. Andrew Merlina. Serenity Nguyen. Emily Noel Rockwall. Justin Edward Solomon. Garrett Conrad Tracy. Ryan A. Warner. Corey Michael Wheeler. I will now read the names of the Master of Science and Counterterrorism degree candidates. Emma Rose Barnes. Carl Benkert. Megan Patricia Brown. Thomas Cunningham. Guys. Elizabeth H. Day. No. Amanda Jacqueline Donahue. Are we already? All right. Kiera M. Fernandez. Bennett Joseph Gandron. Zachary N. Losi. Bridget Elizabeth Ann Monsell. Lauren V. Milosh. Benjamin Michael Murphy. Benjamin is the recipient of the Graduate Elite Award for Academic Excellence and the Master of Science in Counterterrorism program. Christopher William Olson. Cassandra Rudnicki. Crayola Monica Wade. I will now read the names of the Master of Science in Organizational Leadership degree candidates. Naisha Naibi Adorno. Naisha is the recipient of the Graduate Elite Award for Academic Excellence in the Master of Science in Organizational Leadership program. Naidev M. Bengura. Alpha Abduli Bari. Kayla Elizabeth Curran. Mackenzie Erin Doran. Sheena M. Farner. I will now read the names for the dual Master of Business Administration and Master of Science in Organizational Leadership degree candidates. Kevin Michael Chetwynd. Tyler Matthew Dunn. Kelly No. Gregory Richard Rosso. Adriana Rabina. Cassidy Ray Robinson. Amanda Tyler Simcoe. Yeah. There were people that were.
Congratulations, all of you. Today we're here to celebrate you, the class of 2024. One more time, a round of applause. Whether you began your journey at Nichols College as an undergraduate or a non-traditional student over the past 4 years, you are to be commended. Committing yourself to your education takes focus, determination, persistence, even in the best of times. And we all know 2020 wasn't the best of times. Remember the pandemic? After going fully remote in the spring of 2020, Nichols was able to reopen campus later that fall, unlike many colleges, to provide our students with the in-person experience they wanted. As a side note, this was all thanks to your president at the time, Dr. Susan West Engelmeyer. But to ensure the safety of the campus community, we weren't able to accommodate full classroom learning, so we continued to rely on remote classes. Providing meals in Lombard Dining Hall took military precision but left little opportunity for socializing. We had to limit large gatherings and even individual interactions outside the resident halls. Not a dreamy scenario for your first semester of college, right? Well, I was pleasantly surprised to learn from our seniors that this was a special time for them. A time for togetherness, a time to forge friendships, that despite the restrictions, they were grateful for this experience and one that wasn't afforded their friends at other colleges and universities. Our graduate and professional studies students, especially those with families, had to navigate additional demands on their personal and professional lives during that pandemic. In many cases, tending to their education of their children by day and their own by night. That's dedication. You all persevered, and you're all here today as a testament to your grit. Grit is a trait we like to think is embodied in our namesake, the bison. Bison have endured for over tens of thousands of years. They are also loyal, extremely smart, and pragmatic. They are resourceful and dedicated to the pursuit of success. You, the Nichols Bison, have not only survived, but thrived in the face of unprecedented challenges, challenges that have deterred others. Now I know that no person is an island and that you have all had help on this journey. Like your classmates have urged you today, give thanks. Let your parents, guardians, siblings, spouses, partners, extended family, friends know how much you appreciate them and that you have not taken their support or your education for granted. The value of education has been deeply instilled in me by my own family. My father, a high school history teacher, my mother, who was the secretary and therefore the nerve center of our hometown elementary school, and my sister, a medical school librarian. They are my North Stars, especially my mother, who we lost this past December. She devoted her livelihood to the students under her care, and upon learning about my appointment as interim president, counseled me to do the same. I know her advice will never fail me, and I know I will do all I can to make her proud. I've also been inspired by John Adams, our second president. He was a passionate advocate of education, fiercely devoted to ensuring that education was accessible to the public, not just to the privileged few. He believed in its power to elevate, and he did not take his education for granted. I'm reminded of those words from a journal he wrote when he was in his 20s. I will rouse up my mind and fix my attention. I will stand collected with myself and think upon what I read and what I see. I will strive with all my soul to be something more than persons who have had less advantages than myself. I am hopeful that Nichols has given you the confidence to stand collected, the wings to think freely, and the humility to appreciate the value of your education. Even though I've only technically been your president for 4 days, I've had the pleasure and honor of serving as your interim capacity since October. And while I've worked at Nichols College for 18 years, my real education of this special place began when I took this role 7 months ago. Our shared memories over that time may be but few. My face plastered on flyers of Bill Nye the Science Guy posted throughout the campus as a senior prank comes to mind. But the class of 2024 has left an indelible impression on me. And I'm not just talking about the indelible impression Fangel's iced coffee left on my carpet in my office. You are bright, motivated, and resilient. You are resourceful, poised leaders and supportive teammates and friends, always attentive to the members of the herd. You have proven yourself in the classroom and on the playing fields through your real-life experiences in consulting, event planning, intelligent automation, business management, and entrepreneurship, just to name a few. Just as my interim presidency was a dress rehearsal of sorts for the permanent role, your time at Nichols was a dress rehearsal for what's next. Whether to be start of your career, the continuation of your education, or that new promotion you can now clinch thanks to your graduate training. I'm excited to see how you will build upon your accomplishments, working at companies such as Citizens Bank, Fidelity Investments, Marriott International, and PwC, or serving the public as first responders, or combining your passion with your Nichols know-how as entrepreneurs. One such entrepreneur is Pablo Arnau, a native of Spain and the owner of My Barks, a unique line of shoes that features the ascent of Mediterranean in every pair. Thanks, Pablo. You've all come far with what you know, but you will continue to learn a great deal after you leave. Please bring back that wisdom to the Hill. Stay involved with your alma mater. Join the many alumni who return to campus to share their expertise or serve as volunteers. The Alumni Network is vital to the Nichols educational experience. Keep it strong for those who will follow in your footsteps. We often hear from employers that Nichols College graduates have these predominant characteristics. They are prepared, they have grit, and they will not be outworked. Well, if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the class of 2024. Now all the candidates, please rise. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the Board of Trustees of Nichols College, I now confer upon each of you who has successfully completed all requirements in the degrees of Associate in Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Accounting, Master of Science in Counterterrorism, Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, as appropriate with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Please move the tassel on your cap to the left. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. This concludes the 2024 commencement exercises. Graduates, please remain standing at your seats until the platform party has recessed. This will indicate that the proceedings are closed. And graduates will remain at their seats where families and guests may come down to the arena floor to greet and congratulate them. Congratulations.